Well, I think the title of this conference is extremely well chosen because I think we do have a little bit of a crisis of confidence in Europe. I think we've perhaps lost faith in our ability to solve the many challenges we face. I think this is misplaced. I think Europe has a bright future. Our economy is improving, and I think Europe will remain an indispensable global actor. But it's very important that at this conference, young people like yourselves, coming from Europe but based in the United States with American colleagues, discuss these issues, how Europe can play a more important role in the response to global challenges, and how it's important also for the United States that Europe remains a prosperous, stable and strong ally in trying to promote the values which the United States and Europe have in common globally. Well, ultimately, the future of Europe is in your hands, and I think it's so important that you have taken this initiative to mobilize, to organize yourselves, to create the chapters, to have these conferences, to have intermediate conferences such as the one you'll organize in Washington in a few weeks' time, because you need to make up your minds about what kind of Europe you want in the future. And there is no predestined map or plan of what Europe will become. All we know is that Europe must preserve its fundamental values, democracy, the rule of law, human rights. We must provide a better future for our people, and we must be better able to be a force for good globally. But it's for you to decide whether you think the institutions we have built, the structures of the European Union, are the best vehicle for that, or whether you have alternative visions, and why not? But then how will they work, and what do you want to do? So I think the structure you put in place, the dialogue you have between yourselves and with American student friends is absolutely crucial to helping you make up your minds what kind of Europe you want to see in the future. I think we have to accept that one of the biggest problems we face in Europe, separate from the sort of specific challenges of migration or the economy or the role of the United Kingdom in the European Union, is a disconnect between the intellectual analysis which can take place in Brussels, not just amongst European officials, but together with national politicians, about what we need to do at European level, and the sentiment at local, national and regional level that somehow people are disenfranchised, or that this European project means they will lose control over their daily lives and their futures. And this is the big issue that we have to try and reconcile. We have to try and explain to people that it makes sense in certain areas to do things as Europeans, to have European authority to manage certain activities, but that this will still leave a vast area of activity, human and social and economic activity, which is entirely at the discretion of how member states want to organize themselves, either as centralized unitary states, as federal states, regional autonomy. There's a large palette of options available to every country. And I think we have to do a better job of explaining to people that building European integration does not mean disempowering or disenfranchising people at the local, regional or national level. I think this is true, but I think we have maybe not done a sufficiently good job of explaining it and convincing people.